everyone's out of school now, huh? It's gonna be packed everywhere. I was actually reading a lot of interesting articles today about no-fly zones and people flying drones in there anyways. It kind of reminded me of it as well, because one of you guys made a comment about that in terms of reasons to ban flying it in certain places, because for example, they claim anyways it would terrify the animals and all that. This first one here is it's kind of interesting. It says Greenpeace activist pilots and crashes a drone into French nuclear plants in a no-fly zone. So from what it would seem in the video, they basically took a drone and I guess they put a costume, skin, whatever you want to call it, that looks like Superman. They literally just flew it in there and crashed it on the plant, I guess. And this is apparently a no-fly zone. I was trying to understand the reason for it. They were saying this proves that that area is unsecure or something like that. I think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, it's to say, I guess those things are a hazard or whatever, like something can happen and then what? I don't know, to me, that example is almost like someone picking up a rock, throwing it at a house, breaking the window, and then saying, look, your house isn't secure. Like, okay. I guess for drones, people are gonna have to do what they said in that article for, like some prison that puts some kind of, I guess, field that'll actually disrupt the signals and stuff like that, you know, prevent the drone from coming in or knocking it away. And then there's this other story that was kind of related to flying drones in no-fly areas, I believe. I don't follow the news that much for things like that are political and all that. It has something to do with immigration, and I guess it's illegal immigrants or something like that. They're being detained and they're separating, I guess, the parents from the children. Because apparently, like it says here, it says journalists start using drones to view immigrant detention camps after government blocks entry. And because I guess most news organizations, they want to report on this stuff, basically most of them were denied, I guess, a permit to be able to document it, or be in a really controlled way, like you can only visit during the certain times. But I guess apparently this news organization, they said, okay, that's it, we're just gonna fly the drone anyways, because it's a matter of, I guess, quote, public interest to get what the real story is about this stuff. So I guess like those people say here, they were using a drone at the US-Mexico border in Tornillo, showing children being filed into tents in the camp where they're being held, having been separated from their parents by US immigration officials. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to see the footage and all that. So I guess that's an example of an organization saying, it's a no-fly zone, who cares? I have like a drone, the ability to go there and capture it, so we're gonna do it anyways. And the reason this story caught my attention is because it's a perspective that's often mentioned, but at the same time, it's one of those things where you can't really prove it, honestly. But it comes down to, when it comes to things like, hey, you're not allowed to fly here or there, is it truly about things like safety or danger? Or is it more like, in this case, I can kind of see it, where people don't want, like just say a regular person being able to have access to stuff, because you can, in many ways, see stuff like this and they don't want you to see stuff like that. Like they want that only to be authorized people to be able to do this. Or I guess the more relatable example, non-government related, would be kind of like, say, for a recreational flyer like myself, let's just say there's a big huge business that's basically advocating saying no one like me should be able to fly this for fun, doesn't matter because there's a chance, quote, it can hit an airplane. Is it really to do about safety, or is it more about them wanting to, I guess, have a monopoly being able to fly the drones and stuff like that? Because, you know, you can get a lot out of it. Because you guys even mentioned after watching my video on the Canada Day how I filmed all those geese and stuff, and how I usually film close to the animals and they don't even care about it. Basically that kind of disrupts the narrative of flying a drone gives them like a heart attack, you should ban them always, whereas in my case, like, no, they just don't care about it. It just depends on how you fly, like, for the most part. But yeah, it's an interesting thought, I think, anyways. Again, it's not a perspective that I talk about a lot, but I think, you know, since it is a perspective, you might as well throw it out there. I mean, it makes me wonder how other people think about that. All right, see you guys later.